This is the night of the expanding man. I take one last drag as I approach the stand. I cried when I wrote this song. Sue me if I play too long. This brother is free. I'll be what I want to be. Yeah, well, Walter's free now. And many of us who are still alive think we're free, but I don't think we are. I mean, I think I'm free at times, but I'm brought back to earth by this particular piece of paper or whatever. When I say brought back to earth, of course that's where I am, but I mean, my free mind is snared by some kind of bureaucracy, Even your okay, the MOT for the car is a bit of a twat, a bit of a bit of a nuisance. And when I did live on Sunday, you didn't have to have an MOT. It was supposed to be taxed, but yeah, like that was going to happen. But so I used to drive some complete wrecks. No brakes, just the handbrake. Cars like that. I actually drove my worst of all car that I hated before I had to drive this thing around. It was an Austin Allegro Estate. Now, I hate those cars. I hate the saloon versions, but I hate the estate versions far more. And this just had another engine put in it at some point of its life. And I was driving it around and realised it had 5 gears. I found the old gear knob with 5. It had a knob on with only 4 gears marked on it, and I found the old one. I thought, I wonder if it has. Oh yes, there we go. Of course, on Sunday you can't really, overdrive or 5th gear or whatever. Isn't really necessary. That didn't make any difference. But Anyway, the stars are quite fascinating, and I do go out with the camera quite a bit. I don't show much of the footage because I can't yet edit it, or I haven't got any software to do it, and I will sometime. There was some free stuff for NCH software. They were pretty good. I used to use them, but for some reason now, when I've downloaded the converter recently, and I put it then onto the Windows Movie Maker to edit it, you convert it into that format, and then it will be able to be used by Windows Movie Maker, and it would edit it, but it just wouldn't play. It wouldn't run the film, and I just thought maybe NCH software now maybe want you to buy the product because it's only a trial. But what good is the trial if it doesn't do the full job? Anyway, that's just, I will sort that out. But when I'm looking at the stars with my camera, trying to hold it still and steady, it's quite surprising. And I also it's surprising because they're definitely much closer than 100 light years away. And of course we don't see any parallax, and because they're all different distances away, there isn't a cluster of stars that are all the same distance away from us according to the the mainstream view. No, quite the reverse. Every one is a different distance away, of course, and some are incredible distances away, where some are much closer, but still a stupid distance away. Yet for the, I don't know, millennia or whatever that the stars have been mapped. No parallax. And we are supposed to be travelling through the vacuum of space at a rate of something like 1.5 million miles an hour. I know that sounds a bit, well, it does sound completely ridiculous. Even if you're a ball Earth believer, you're probably, what? Look into it. And one of the most fascinating things for me is let's just call it heavenly body or luminary, the moon. Just forget about the stars, but all the rest of the luminaries, the wandering stars and the moon and the sun, of all those, the moon is actually travelling the fastest, I think, because it's going around the Earth, and then the Earth is going around the sun, and then the sun's going around the spiral arm of the galaxy, and the galaxy's going around the Great Attractor, and and then the Big Bang's still happening. It's insane. That is insane. And if that really were true, wouldn't we feel it? Wouldn't we feel it? Of course we'd feel it. So it would blow the atmosphere off. Come on. It would just, of course it would. It would just, and the vacuum would suck. I don't know about the word suck there, but it would remove. Just like if it were all true that they went to the moon, and I know it isn't, of course, but just let's pretend, because that's what they did. Let's pretend we're on the moon, and the moon is as they describe it. And you open a can of Coke. I don't think it would make that noise in their world, What would happen then to the liquid? Well, it would just be removed from the can, atomized. If we want to use their terminology, it would need to be removed by the vacuum. The vacuum would the can is under pressure, so as soon as you release that, all the liquid would come out. I think that's their physics, or their science anyway. So how does the water and the air all stick to a planet going at 1.5 million miles an hour through the vacuum of space? Yeah, okay. You want to believe that? There you go. It's there to believe in, but it's just a belief. It's not. It's not factual. It's not the truth. You can believe in the truth, but you can also believe in nonsense. And it's for your own mind to discern what is real. And that's it. I can't help you with any more. But you've got to look. You've got to look into it and make your own mind up. That is it. Now, I'm far more likely or willing to accept the Bible's version of events rather than Brian Cox. But I don't think the Bible's right either. But I think the general opinion of, like, creation, etc., that is real. That is reality. We were created. By what? I've no idea. But life cannot have just miraculously appeared. No, it was created. That's why you see, all these clever scientists can't create life. They can tell you what the building blocks are and the sequence of letters and all this, all the jargon involved, but they can't actually create it themselves. They can't even make water out of hydrogen and oxygen. They can't do that. I can make water, but they can't. Well, they can actually, as I make it, they can make it in the same way. I'm wearing headphones and I actually don't need to. I was listening to something earlier on, that's what it does. But they can't make water in a test tube, if you like, you know, some whatever vessel they need. So they're not very smart, I tell you. And I don't think intelligence is unfairly distributed, shall we say. I think we all have a very similar amount of intelligence, and it's just the way we apply it. We allow our reasoning to be well, you've heard of the phrase cognitive dissonance, where you're told some new information, and because it doesn't fit with the way you think it is, the way the old information is, and it doesn't mesh with it, you dismiss the new information that is correct, and even abuse the messenger, or the, you know, that can't be right, oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, and we all suffer from it. I don't know, suffer from it, but we all have the potential to do that, and we all have, I'm sure, in the past. And when we told some bad news, the first thing is to say, no, no. But yeah, and that's what it is. That's the cognitive dissonance working there for you. So when you see no parallax in the stars, when our planet is supposedly moving at that speed and it for that long, billions of miles every decade, billions, yet you can go out there a decade later with your camera or telescope or whatever, and you'll see there's no parallax. People say, oh, they do move a bit. Well, but they go back again. They don't go continue. The stars I'm talking about, they don't continue in that direction. They kind of reset themselves. Do you know that? Now that means to me, anyway, that the whole thing's like a big mechanical machine, like a big clock, and that's what it is, in effect. You know, a timepiece, if you like. Man has been governed by the movement of the luminaries since he was put here. So I would understand. I mean, he'd soon get, because there was no telly back then, he would soon find other entertainment. And what better thing to occupy the mind than the lovely stars in the sky? Quite romantic, aren't they? Just try and break through your cognitive dissonance. See it for what it is. Remove your prejudice and try and reason with the new information. That being, the vacuum of space is a Hollywood, Walt Disney production, invention. There are certain people put here to promote it, like Einstein. he had to have that space. He had to get rid of the ether and turn it into the vacuum of space and the bending of time and nonsense.